President Trump is ready to end the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas.
President Trump will host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on Monday.
He wants to end it too, but I think we'll have a deal next week.
And so the stage has been set. Qatar made a proposal, and even though few people seem to know the details of it, Israel seems to be agreeing to its implementation. What no one seems to realize, though, is that even though this deal could be very dangerous for the state of Israel, Israel may have very little choice in the matter. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explain what this deal actually is, the dark reality that Israel is facing, and what this means for the future of the Middle East. The war between Israel and their Muslim neighbors has been actively going on for over a year and a half now, and President Trump wants to end it. Don't get me wrong, Trump seems to actively care about the future of the state of Israel, but he also has his own political reputation to uphold and the stability of the MAGA movement to consider. He is, after all, the America First president. In the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, Israel currently has the complete upper hand, and that's to put it mildly. This means that the war can end one of two ways. Either Israel completely destroys Hamas, or Israel is pressured into cutting a deal with Hamas. Since President Trump has very little control over the destruction of Hamas directly, the approach he seems to be taking is to push Israel into making a deal perhaps at any cost. And what Trump needs to accomplish this is leverage. And at long last, President Trump just might have all the leverage that he needs. By the way, I'm really curious to hear what you think about President Trump's current approach to these negotiations with Israel in this, his second term. So please let me know down in the comments section. I fully support America's decision to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. It was a very bold move that no previous president had the courage to do, and it was, in my opinion, America first, because it demonstrated to our enemies across the globe that when needed, America is very much willing to take bold, decisive action to defend our freedom. However, we cannot overlook the fact that it was also a huge favor to Israel. Those bunker-busting bombs most likely saved Israel from some kind of ground operation, which easily could have entailed a significant number of casualties. And this means leverage. America also just announced they will be sending a $510 million arms package to Israel to restock their munitions. Again, more leverage. Bibi is being invited to the White House next Monday to personally meet with President Trump. A lot more leverage. And right on cue today, Qatar just released the terms for a ceasefire. And immediately Israel announced they will be accepting it. This is something President Trump seems to have fully expected.
He wants to. I can tell you he wants to, and I think we'll have it. I think we'll have a deal next week. That's what I think.
Here's what it looks like the deal will likely entail. It would begin with a 60-day ceasefire. Hamas isn't firing a whole lot these days, so it mainly means that Israel would cease attacks in Gaza. Israel will begin delivering aid from the UN and Red Crescent. Israel will then suspend aerial surveillance for 10 to 12 hours per day in an agreed upon window of time, because what could go wrong there? Over the next week, Hamas then releases 10 living hostages and the bodies of 18 Israelis that they murdered. Israel will release 125 terrorists serving life sentences in Israeli prison, and they will also release 1,111 Hamas terrorists arrested after October 7th, and will also return 180 bodies of dead Hamas terrorists that they currently hold. While this is happening, Israel and Hamas will negotiate the terms of a permanent ceasefire and the release of the remaining 30 hostages. Does this sound like this would be a good deal for the state of Israel? This is what Israel is currently doing right now in the Gaza Strip. And this is what is happening with Hamas. Actually, we'll get into that in a second, but before we do, in this 12-day war that Israel just faced, over 500 ballistic missiles were fired into Israel, and there were 31 impacts in civilian areas, with 28 people killed and 3,000 injured. Israel just faced one of the most intense threats since its establishment. But through it all, Magen David Adom, which is Israel's volunteer emergency service system, was on the front lines, risking everything to save lives. And right now, they need your help to continue to do this effectively. With Israel's resources strained to the breaking point, and with the continued war, Mogen David Adom needs more emergency vehicles, bandages, ventilators, defibrillators, and trauma kits, and so much more to respond to every terror or missile attack and every other daily emergency that's happening in Israel right now. People ask us what they can do to bless Israel during this ongoing 7-front war, and this is one of the best ways that you can do that. You can be a part of making sure Mogen David Adom is equipped with everything they need to save more lives in Israel. Go to savelivesinisrael.com to make a real difference today, or click the link in the description below. I don't know about you, but videos like this make me very upset. Hamas is actively stealing the international aid being brought into Gaza. They're hijacking the trucks at gunpoint and hauling them away to do whatever they want with them. But honestly, you've probably seen these videos before since this has been happening for quite some time now. So why am I showing you these? Because media across the world right now are accusing Israel of shooting unarmed Gazan civilians while they are collecting aid. Never mind that there's no proof of this accusation, no pictures, no video, no anything. They're just making the accusation. Meanwhile, you have this phone recording coming straight from Gaza, detailing what is actually going on. After that recording, I have another video clip that actually shows this happening in real life.
بس الجيش عندنا ما اطلقش نار بالمره يعني.
هلا انت متفاهم انه اللي بيروح يسلم مساعداته هو طالع في شبيحه في الطريق. الشبيحه هدول اكيد قاتلين 2 3 5.
يعني الجيش ملوش في القصه.
لا.
So this Gazan is detailing to an Israeli exactly what is going on with the Hamas terrorists. They are shooting Gazans who are collecting aid. You can see this played out in this following clip. I have to be really careful with this one because it is really disturbing content. I'll start with a freeze frame here at the beginning where you can see Gazans tied up on the ground and blindfolded. Then as I play it here, I'm switching to a blurred version. Just the audio alone gives you an accurate idea of what is going on here. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see the original video, but be warned, it is very graphic. Hamas is shooting Gazan civilians, and this is according to the testimony attached to these videos from Gazans as they are collecting aid from the American organization, GHF. They're the ones that are facilitating the distribution of aid currently. It looks like Hamas is running a reign of terror in a campaign to destroy the humanitarian relief efforts going on. Not only are they shooting Gazans collecting aid, but they are going after GHF itself. Apparently right now they're offering bounties for the deaths of any American security personnel or cooperating Palestinian aid workers, the ones assisting with the humanitarian effort. How anyone can look at this and continue to support Hamas is just beyond my understanding. Just a few weeks ago, Hamas ambushed a bus carrying local Gaza-based staff, the ones working for GHF. They killed 5 in the initial attack, but that number rose to 8 as more died of their wounds later on. In total, GHF is claiming that they have had 12 workers killed by Hamas already, and multiple others abducted, tortured, then denied medical care in Gazan hospitals. This is who President Trump wants Israel to make a deal with, exchanging supposed peace for the release of over 1,000 Hamas terrorists and the full freedom for Hamas to keep right on doing what they have been doing for nearly 20 years now. Rape, torture, murder, and the terrorization of Israel and their own people. Yes, it can be amazing to end wars, but we have to ask ourselves, at what cost? Guys, don't forget, you can tangibly support the nation of Israel through our friends at Mogen David Adom. The link is in the description. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And remember to do your part and share this video. The world needs to hear the truth about what is actually happening in Israel. As always, thanks for watching.